Ray Brown's Talking Birds.
Made possible by the generous support of the Birdwatchers General Store, Orleans, Cape Cod. Birdwatchersgeneralstore.com. By Feather Snap, the smart bird feeder with a high-resolution camera and species identification software aimed to educate and spread joy to every level of avian enthusiast. Learn more at feathersnapcam.com.
And by Vortex Optics, with the VIP warranty, their unlimited lifetime promise to keep you and your optic covered. Learn more at vortexoptics.com.
Good morning, afternoon, or evening, and welcome to our show number 1023. I'd like to start off by welcoming a new Talking Birds show supporting sponsor, National Audubon Seabird Institute's Hog Island Audubon Camp, which has welcomed nature enthusiasts to its shores since 1936. Today, the island hosts programs for adults, teens, and families taught by the world's leading naturalists, ornithologists, and artists. For full camp schedule, program details, and to register, visit hogisland.audubon.org. That's hogisland.audubon.org. Welcome, Audubon Seabird Institute and the Hog Island Audubon Camp. Well, among other things, on today's show, we'll hear from two listeners from Ontario and our neighbor to the north, the sovereign nation of Canada, one through some Talking Birds ambassador comments, and one, as we're about to hear, by way of a short but sweet avian audio postcard. Good morning, Jasmine.
Good morning, Ray. It's Jasmine here from Toronto, Canada, at Lake Ontario, and there's a small flock of long-tailed ducks yodeling. Enjoy your day.
Thank you so much, Jasmine. Love to hear those long-tailed ducks. By the way, we love to get audio postcards from wherever you are looking at or hearing birds. Just make a little file on your iPhone or other smart device, and 30 seconds, maybe a minute, whatever. And send the file to ray@talkingbirds.com as your audio postcard. That's ray@talkingbirds.com. Here's a quick programming note. It's that you can now hear past Talking Birds shows, at least back to 2019, on YouTube. Just go to youtube.com and enter the full show name, Ray Brown's Talking Birds, in the search bar. That's it for the YouTube thing. And this is our mystery bird. The actual contest will occur later in the show, but we want to get you ready for it now. Pretty much every week we get lots of calls after the show has ended. We want to try to avoid that and give you a heads up here as early as we can. Our mystery bird, which is not often seen due to the fact that it inhabits the deep boreal and mountain forests of northern North America, is a medium-sized black and white bird with a white mustache stripe and a thin white line behind the eye. Its throat, breast, and belly are white. The male has a yellow crown patch. Our bird feeds on the larvae of bark beetles and wood-bearing beetles by flaking or scaling off bark, usually on dead or dying trees. And one more clue. Unlike most of its relatives, our mystery bird does not have 4 toes. That's our mystery bird. We have some fabulous prizes, including the Brome Mega 600 feeder with an extra-large tube that holds nearly 2.5 pounds of seed. It's easy to clean, and it's chew-proof and includes the Brome seed ventilation system to keep the seed cool and dry. And we have a 1-year subscription to the new birding magazine, BWD, founded in 1978 as Birdwatchers Digest. It's back and better than ever, with each issue packed with beautiful photography, illustrations, and in-depth articles by renowned experts on an array of topics from backyard birds to birding abroad and everything in between. So beautiful prizes here on our Mystery Bird contest coming along just a little bit later on in the show this morning. We have another Talking Birds ambassador to salute. Folks helping us get the word out about our show and about what we're trying to do, which is spread the word about birds and conservation. And we want to say thank you to Ricky Rodriguez from Corvallis, Oregon. He says, love your podcast, sending good bird vibes from Oregon. Thank you, Ricky, for those good bird vibes and for becoming a member of the now 920-member strong Talking Birds Ambassadors family. For a moment here, let's go back to Ontario to hear some comments from another Talking Birds ambassador.
My name is Sheila Maxwell. I'm calling from the south shore of Lake Simcoe in the town of Jackson's Point. One of the problems, I think, in birding is sometimes people have perceptions it's not fun, but talking birds makes it fun. Birding is pretty intimidating when you don't know anything about it. And so I like to get out there and let people know that this is a great place to share information, find out what's going on in the birding community, and just have a nice time listening to something that isn't all doom and gloom. What I like about being a Talking Birds ambassador is it gives you a connection to other people. If you hand out the cards, there's curiosity on their part, and it gives you something to talk about with someone that you may not know, someone you've met on the trail or somebody you've met at an event. So it's that connection that I really enjoy. It's nice to have a way to connect with them.
Thank you so much, Sheila, for those comments about becoming a Talking Birds ambassador, which is really easy to do. Just go to the talkingbirds.com website, talkingbirds.com, no G in talking, and click where it says Get Involved up at the top of the homepage. Still to come today, we'll learn from our friends Martha Steele and Jerry Barrier about a new nationwide birding event, the first ever Blind Birder-Bird-a-Thon, coming in May. Also today, Mike O'Connor will join us for a Let's Ask Mike segment almost live from the archive about how to help birds find your feeders. And up next, we're back in the grasslands again to meet up with this week's featured feathered friend.
When we view owls, we often see what are referred to as ears, which aren't ears at all, but rather feather tufts that aren't even associated with hearing. Birds' ears are on the side of the head, not on the top, where these feather tufts are located. Instead, it's thought that these structures may play a role in non-vocal communication. Nearly all of the owls that have these are found in dense woodlands. A bird in a dense forest setting may be difficult to locate, but by erecting these tufts of feathers, a more distinct and visible outline suddenly takes shape. Those tufts can also be employed for an opposite goal, to help the bird blend in with the shapes and colors of its surroundings. Open country owl species, like today's featured feathered friend, the short-eared owl, tend to look different, with rounded heads and feather tufts that are so short to be almost unnoticeable. An owl silhouetted in open country can be relatively easy to see without its having to erect large ear tufts to get noticed. The short-eared owl is a medium-sized owl with light and dark brown mottled upper parts and a streaked, buff-colored breast and belly. It has a black bill and yellow eyes circled in black, and a brown-tinged, pale buff facial disc, usually bordered in white. Just below the margins of that facial disc, concealed by feathers, are the openings to the owl's ears. The facial disc acts as a sound collector, kind of like an old-fashioned ear trumpet, and guides the sound to the actual ear openings, which are asymmetrical in this bird. One opening is located higher up on one side of the head, while the other is located lower on the other side. This helps the bird triangulate sounds as it glides silently over grasslands, especially at dawn and dusk, searching for prey
that includes rodents, rabbits, large insects, and small birds. The short-eared owl inhabits every continent except for Antarctica and Australia. And in North America, it breeds through Canada and Alaska, and as far south as Nevada, and winters through much of the southern U.S. and Mexico. As might be suggested by its wide global distribution, the short-eared owl can travel long distances over vast expanses of ocean, and it's been reported landing on ships hundreds of miles from any landmass. Short-eared owls require large, contiguous areas of open grasslands and appear to be especially sensitive to habitat loss and fragmentation from agriculture, livestock grazing, recreation, and development. The species is listed as a common bird in steep decline for species that are still too numerous or widely distributed to warrant watch list status, but that have been experiencing troubling long-term declines. Today's globe-encircling, featured feathered friend is usually silent, but on nesting grounds it produces a variety of barks and squawks. It's Aseo flammeus, the short-eared owl. Welcome again to our show number 1023. The first ever Blind Birder Bird-a-Thon will take place all across the U.S. on Sunday, May 18th, 2025. Here to tell us something about it is the woman who came up with the idea for it, Martha Steele, and a man who will be facilitating much of its operations, our old friend Jerry Barrier. Good morning, Martha and Jerry. Martha, let me start with you and ask you how you came up with the idea for the Blind Birder Bird-a-Thon and who can take part in it.
So I saw an article last October about a blind birder in Michigan, and it was someone I did not know. Mm-hmm. I thought to myself, I wonder how many blind birders are out there. Oh. I thought it would be kind of cool to try to get blind birders together. And I thought, well, one way to do that is to do a bird-a-thon, something many of your listeners are familiar with, mm-hmm. Except this bird-a-thon would be a blind birder bird-a-thon. And so I called my friend, Jerry Barrier, and I asked him what he thought of that idea. He, too, was very enthusiastic, and he actually knew the woman who was featured in the Post story, Donna Posen, mm-hmm. from Michigan. So he offered to get in touch with her as well as with a nonprofit organization called Birdability to see if they would be interested in helping us do this. And the four of us, Kat Fribley, the executive director for Birdability, Donna, Jerry, and I decided to get together and form a little organizing committee, and the Blind Birder Bird-a-Thon started to take shape.
All right, and it's for any resident of the U.S., right, who is a legally blind birder, right?
Any legally blind birder who is birding anywhere in the 50 U.S. states can participate. And mm-hmm. You do not need any experience. Mm-hmm. One of the main reasons we want to do this is to encourage people to get out there and bird. There is a misconception, I think, among some who are legally blind that because they can't see or they can't see well, they can't bird. But as we all know, birding is largely by ear, and those of us with vision loss can be as good or even better birders than people who have vision. Mm-hmm.
And we want to say a little acknowledgement on this end to Donna Posen, a good friend of ours and friend of the show, and a guest on our show recently. She teaches a birding by ear course at University of Michigan. Dearborn. Well, Jerry, you have all these rules, including tabulating data on the day of the event. Give us, if you can, like a 30-second overview of how this all works.
Okay, so we've all worked together to reach out to people to get them involved. We've reached out to agencies all over the country that serve people who are blind and organizations of the blind. So that's one thing I've been involved in. I'm also going to be, as you said, tabulating the results, and we'll be talking to people about how that all will work. And speaking of that, we're going to have a workshop on March 15th on Zoom for everyone who is registered. And we will answer all their questions, and there have already been many of them. But I will tell you, we have a Q&A on our on the website that they can find a lot of answers prior to the event. But we'll be talking about apps that they can use and all sorts of things at this workshop.
Well, Jerry, Ed, Martha, I know you both have had quite a journey in this regard. Jerry, you've been blind since birth. Martha, you had quite another journey. We are so running out of time here, but let's get together again before this event takes place, because it's not until May, and learn more about that. But before we wrap up, let's make sure folks know how to register, because registration is open. Want to give some info on that, Jerry?
Yes, registration can be found at the website birdability.org. That's www.birdability.org. And I just want to put in a plug for our friend Kat Fribley, who has been fantastic, just wonderful in assisting us in many ways in this project. And we really appreciate that.
That's wonderful. Kat Fribley from Birdability, and their website again, where you'll get all the info, birdability.org. Martha, thank you so much, and Jerry, and good luck as the process continues, and we will talk again before the event on May 15th. How's that?
You're right. It's an honor.
Thank you.
Martha Steele and Jerry Barrier here on Talkin' Birds, the Blind Birder Bird-a-Thon, May 15th. And again, that website to get all the information one more time, birdability.org. I want to correct the date. Sorry, May 18th. I was getting it mixed up with the workshop date there. May 18th, the Blind Birder Bird-a-Thon. Up next, our Mystery Bird Contest in just 1 minute.
Ready to take your backyard bird watching to the next level? FeatherSnap makes Wi-Fi-enabled smart bird feeders that blend the best of technology and nature. Get a high-def glimpse of your feathered friends with a top-of-the-line camera so every visitor can be seen with clarity and detail. A unique dual feeder bin helps attract more species, and built-in solar panels keep your camera's battery going strong. FeatherSnap's mobile app creates a truly immersive experience, allowing you to collect and organize your favorite pics and videos and earn badges along the way. FeatherSnap is a convenient and fun way to capture powerful images of your local birds and help get your friends and family excited about bird watching. Best of all, FeatherSnap offers expert-trained AI identification of more than 275 North American species, thanks to their in-house ornithologist. Check them out today at feathersnapcam.com. feathersnapcam.com.
That's our mystery bird. Can you tell us what that bird is, or take a guess at it? Either way could produce results in terms of being a winner on our mystery bird contest. No correct answer means a drawing will determine our winner. Our mystery bird, not often seen due to the fact that it inhabits the deep boreal and mountain forests of northern North America, is a medium-sized black and white bird with a white mustache stripe, a thin white line behind the eye. Its throat, breast, and belly are white. The male has a yellow crown patch. Unlike most of its relatives, our mystery bird does not have 4 toes. Clues and all that about our mystery bird. And the number to call is 781-837-4900. As always, we ask you to call as soon as you can. 781-837-4900 is the number to call. Meanwhile, we will check in with Mike O'Connor almost live from the archive. This is a show when David Clapp was a guest on the show. You'll hear David's name mentioned here, as Mike would do. That's coming up. Let's Ask Mike in just 1 minute.
The flutter of a tail feather, the flash of a wing bar in mid-flight. You don't always have a lot of time to identify a bird in nature, let alone to appreciate its beauty. But with Vortex Optics, you'll have the power to bring every wild moment closer. When you choose Vortex, you're choosing to have a partner in the field as passionate about nature as you are. Whether you're spotting old friends on the backyard feeder or packing for a once-in-a-lifetime trip to add a few species to your life list, Vortex offers a full range of optics and optics accessories for every birder and every budget. And whether the birds are taking you to another state or another country, you're always covered by the Vortex VIP warranty, an unlimited lifetime promise to keep you and your optic covered. If you'd like to learn more, or if you need help choosing your next optic, give Vortex a call at 1-800-4VORTEX or visit vortexoptics.com.
David, we're going to talk to a friend of yours, Mike O'Connor.
This is him playing the banjo, I think.
It's amazing, yeah.
He's a great banjo player.
Right through the phone, the fidelity is remarkably good there. Good morning, Mike.
Oh, man, I still got it. I still got that banjo touch.
You do, Earl, Mr. Scruggs.
That's right. Earl Scruggs of Cape Cod. Yes, indeed. So, Mike, we've been giving a little intro to what you're talking about here, the idea that you get a beautiful new bird feeder, you fill it with seed, and you put it out there, and then you wait.
Well, a lot of people got new bird feeders for Christmas, right? I think just the lucky people.
Yeah.
If you got a new bird feeder for Christmas, or if you're like David Clapp, you just picked up a broken one at a yard sale someplace. And then you put it out there, and if it's your first feeder you've ever had, it takes a while for birds to discover it because they don't know that all of a sudden you're going to decide to feed birds. So they've kind of written your yard off as a place to find food. So when you fill it with sunflower, like I always say, and then maybe if you have a picnic table or a piece of plywood or a board, sprinkle some seed below it. So they're not going to recognize the feeder, they'll recognize the food. And so if you broadcast some food on the ground, or if you have snow, put it up on, like I said, a picnic table or a board, then give them a target to find. Now, if you already have feeders and birds are already coming on a regular basis, again, if you put out a new feeder, oftentimes they ignore the new feeder because they, just like we sit at the same seat at the dinner table every night, birds go to what they're used to and what they know is comfortable and safe. So they'll continue to go to the older feeders. So what I tell people to do is let the old feeders run down, and then, or take them in. But I just let it run down because I'm kind of lazy. And then when the birds come, the feeder's empty, and then they have to venture over to the new one and discover that for the first time.
Right, there it is. Top quality advice to start.
Pretty exciting stuff, huh, you guys? I hope you wrote it down, David.
I did. I'm learning.
Top quality and exciting. Thank you, Mike.
All right, you guys. Happy New Year, you too.
Yep. Bye, Mike.
Happy New Year. Talk to you next week. Mike O'Connor at the famous Birdwatchers General Store, along with our friend David Clapp, who was on the show, obviously, that day in that archived edition of Let's Ask Mike. He'll be back with a live Let's Ask Mike next week. And we'll be back to the Mystery Bird Contest after we say welcome again to our new supporting sponsor, the Seabird Institute's Hog Island Audubon Camp, which has welcomed nature enthusiasts to its shores since 1936. Today, the island hosts programs for adults, teens, and families taught by the world's leading naturalists, ornithologists, and artists. New sessions for the 2025 camp season include mindfulness in birding and Let's Go Birding Together. For a full schedule, program details, and to register, visit hogisland.audubon.org. That's hogisland.audubon.org. One more time with the mystery bird here. A medium-sized black and white bird with a white mustache stripe. Throat, breast, belly are white. And Vanessa is somewhere in Arizona. Well, who may have with an answer maybe for us, or certainly a guess for sure. Hello, Vanessa. Hello, Vanessa. We have little connectivity problems here, it seems, this morning. Must be the cold weather where we are. Are you there, Vanessa? We hear some clicking sounds there, but we need a little... Oh, hold on. We may be making progress, or perhaps we're regressing. Okay, we can't seem to get Vanessa. Are we trying to call her back? Is what we're trying to do there. All right. Well, the number is 781-837-4900. That's 781-837-4900. See if we get this connection going. While we're waiting to reconnect here, just a quick reminder about the Great Backyard Bird Count, organized by the Cornell Lab along with National Audubon and Birds Canada, a wonderful citizen science event, February 14th through the 17th. The Great Backyard Bird Count. It's a wonderful thing in which to take part. The website for that, by the way, is birdcount.org with all the info there, birdcount.org. Do we have Vanessa? I think we really do. Are you there, Vanessa? Somebody's hosing us here. I guess we don't really, we really thought. Well, we hear something. Is that you, Vanessa? No, I guess it's not. We heard something, so maybe next time, Vanessa, try us again, and we'll talk more. Let's see. We have Jen in Brockton, Massachusetts. Hello, Jen. Hello there, Jen. Oh, I see. This is more of a systemic problem we have going here. Apparently, it's not the Arizona thing so much. Yes, Jesse.
I don't know what's going on with the phones, but I can confirm that Vanessa was the first caller with the correct answer.
Okay, she was, and we are pretty close to being out of time. But she did have the correct answer. So does that mean we're going to declare her the winner? Okay. Well, let's have some applause then for Vanessa. And let's also not forget the identity of the bird. Sometimes when a thing like this happens, we tend to forget to identify the bird, but we won't let that happen. This time, the bird was and is the American three-toed woodpecker. It just really does have 3 toes on each foot, that is, instead of the usual 4 that most woodpeckers have. It's thought that the loss of the 4th toe may help it deliver stronger blows as it plays whack-a-beetle. It apparently loses some climbing ability as a result, but it seems to be okay with that. The American three-toed woodpecker is our mystery bird, and we'll be sending those beautiful prizes to Vanessa if she can connect at least off the air with Jesse, and we'll make all the arrangements for that. Before we go, if you'd like to support our show, Patreon is a wonderful way to do it. We have lots of wonderful Patreon volunteers, and if we have more, that'll be just okay with us. Just go to patreon.com, patreon.com, Patreon, and just type in Talking Birds there, and you'll see how to give us a little support here through Patreon. Well, thanks to our amazing Talking Birds team, Debbie Bleacher, Freya McGregor, and by the way, the music on our featured feathered friend this morning, that segment, was written and performed in part by our own Jesse Wilkins, keyboardist and composer extraordinaire.
I must say that was mostly my brother Seth on guitar on that one. So
you didn't really have much to do with it then?
Yeah, I pressed some buttons and made it sound nice.
But you wrote the music. We'll hear more of Jesse's music. We didn't hear much of it on that particular piece, but we'll fix that, among other things, on upcoming shows. I'm Ray Brown. See you next week.
The bird show. I like that. I love it.
Ray Brown's Talking Birds.
Made possible by the generous support of the Birdwatchers General Store, Orleans, Cape Cod. Birdwatchersgeneralstore.com. By Feathersnap, the smart bird feeder with a high-resolution camera and species identification software aimed to educate and spread joy to every level of avian enthusiast. Learn more at feathersnapcam.com.
And by Vortex Optics, with the VIP warranty, their unlimited lifetime promise to keep you and your optic covered. Learn more at vortexoptics.com.